Today I have some good news for you. Perhaps you've been searching online and looking at the RAM shortage and seeing there's no way that PC building is going to be great 2026. You might be seeing these types of videos that I just recorded. And in fact, I was exactly in the same position where I was like, why do I even benchmark and test these for you if there's no point in actually building a PC in 2026? Maybe you're thinking, do you know what, sack it. I'm gonna buy myself a Mac Mini M4 Pro just over $1,000 because that's maximum that I can afford. Well, what if I told you that there is a better option, more affordable option, regardless of the RAM prices, and why I would still build myself a PC in 2026? Deepcool AK700 compact cooling with a smart display. It features 7 advanced copper heat pipes and a next-gen optimized tower delivering unmatched thermal control. I tested it on the Core Ultra 7 265K and it managed to keep it cool down while the CPU pulled over 220 watts of power. The digital screen is a nice touch to easily monitor your computer performance. On the white model, the display through a board effect is a very interesting touch. Perhaps a nice combo with the Gigabyte X870E Aero motherboard. Designed with an offset heat pipes to accommodate the larger heatsink depth for better component compatibility. This allows more space for tall RAM modules. So then, the goal for this video then is to build a PC for the price of Mac Mini, which right now we can see is $1,270 roughly. And we're gonna want to beat that price or be roughly around there and then just be better. Now, I have tested this, I've benchmarked this, and the PC I'm recommending to you, I've also tested all the parts in it. So if you want to see the results, stick around because there's some good news. This is the first part of this video series, by the way, and this is going to be the $1,000 to $1,200 to $1,300 build of a PC in 2026. So if you're interested in that, check out the links in the video description below where all the parts that I'm talking about, you can find and build yourself one. If you're thinking, look, I know you're saying about building the PC. I've never built a PC. I don't know how this goes. Actually, I've got the build guide in the video description for you as well. So you can just literally follow that video. You might be using slightly different parts, but don't worry, it works exactly the same. The order, the places where things go are exactly the same. So you can follow the guide along, build the PC, and then have something amazing for 2026, regardless of the RAM prices. So links in the video description below. If you enjoy videos like this, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna start with the motherboard. And the motherboard I'm using here is the MSI MAG B650 Tomahawk. We're going with the AMD platform because there's better upgrade path. There's a lot more that we can do with this platform, and this is a really good price. Now, you could save maybe $15 or so, maybe $20 by going with a B650M motherboard that I found that I was actually gonna go at first, but then I realized there's such a big difference in this. Most people don't want to upgrade their motherboard in the future, and for the sake of $20, this will give you a lot more. You get more PCIe M.2 slots, which means you can upgrade your storage later on. You've got just bigger motherboard, it just fits a little bit better in our system. You've got good I/O, you've got cooling for your M.2 slots, you've got DDR5, you've got everything that you need, Wi-Fi and 2.0 gigabit LAN. This is just such a big upgrade from the basic motherboard that I was gonna recommend. Definitely a good option for the Ryzen CPUs. For the CPU we're gonna go for is the 9600X, and you might be saying, why not 9700X? Well, I was checking my benchmarks and actually there's quite a big upgrade from 97 to 9600X. And for the price difference of maybe $10 or something like that, what it goes right now, maybe actually even less, the 7600X is not worth the money. You get a much better bang for buck for the 9600X, and that's why we're going with this one. If you're thinking, oh, maybe I'll go with the 9700X and upgrade to 8 cores, actually, I wouldn't do that, and stick around when I'm going to talk about the upgrade paths. If you have a little bit more to spend, then I would go with slightly different upgrade options there. And interestingly, if you're thinking, oh, what about the non-X variant, the 9600, then actually the 9600 is not cheaper, it's more expensive. So this is a very good sweet spot. And usually previously I've been recommending Intel platforms. Well, they have been good, but just the 13th, 14th gen now, it's kind of falling off that sweet spot where it's been last generation and kind of good pricing, where it doesn't actually offer good value for money, especially new. And the Intel, CPU degradation also puts a little bit of a sour taste on it. Moving on to the cooler, we're using the Thermalright Assassin X120. It's an unbelievable cooler. For that $18, it really shouldn't be possible, but it is. It's an absolutely awesome cooler. If you haven't seen our cooler video, where we tested basically all the air coolers out there, then feel free to check it out if you're wondering which cooler is better. Next up, the SSD. And here's the first bit where we start to see that things have gone more expensive. To get a 1 terabyte NVMe drive, it's actually quite hard to find. And the pricing, usually we got this less than $100. Now we're gonna have to pay $100 for this. And this is not particularly the best NVMe SSD as well. But this is a great NVMe SSD for your operating system, and that's what we're using this for. And if you want to do any editing or any of the other bits, store files on the operating system, the 1 terabyte one actually gives you plenty of space to do that. You're wondering why not go with the heatsink or non-heatsink version? Well, the non-heatsink version was exactly the same price. So I got the heatsink version just because you get more, and we want to stretch our dollar as much as we can. So in case your motherboard doesn't have cooling, or you want to sell the cooler for extra couple of bucks to some of your friends, it's possible. And then the RAM. So this is the bit where we have to squeeze through and really just, try to get past this bit. This is 32 gigabytes DDR5 Crucial Pro. Don't know how much of the Crucial products we still see, but $325. This was one of the best price I could find. It is very expensive. Usually we're getting 64 or 96 gigabytes for that type of price, but it is what we have to deal with. I'm going to reveal the pricing in a minute, but it still makes sense, and this was the best option. Check out the links in the video description below because I don't know how long these will last. Now the GPU part, and this is where things get exciting, and you might be thinking, what on earth are you doing? We're gonna go with the RTX 5050, and this is from MSI, and this is the Shadow 1. So a 5050, the weakest 50 series GPU. And here's the thing, the 50 series have something special in mind, especially if you are a video editor. The long GOP scores, so H.264 and 5 codecs, they have special media engines inside, even the 5050. So the 5050 has better encoders than 4090, which is ridiculous. And for that reason, for $240, it's a great GPU. In fact, this is priced so well right now that Intel Arc does not really make sense. Yes, Intel Arc offers you maybe a bit more VRAM with the B570 10 gigabytes and B580 12 gigabytes, but regardless, the performance of this one is just better. We're getting better 3D, we're getting better support in software and everywhere, so it does actually make sense. To power this all, I'm going with the MSI 650 watt 80 plus bronze power supply, and this is $60. Now, if you can spare an extra $20 or so, please check out the upgrade for this one because you'll get a huge boost in wattage and actually energy efficiency, which makes so much sense. But at this $1,000 price point, we want to stretch our dollar as far as we can, and this is the best option. Finally, the case. What I found is this GAM DS, which is not particularly the most favorite one that I would go for, but it does have 4 120mm ARGB PWM fans included, which just helps us with the performance, and we get the best value for our money. There is a $10 coupon code at the moment as well, which gets us this for $49, including shipping. That's really, really good. Now, if you do have extra little bit of money to spare, highly recommend checking out my upgrade for the PC case because I think it looks so much better, you get higher quality and so on. But if you want the best bang for buck, then this is the one for you right now. So then, how much does all of this PC cost? This PC is $1,115.19 at the time of me making this video. I highly recommend checking out the video description below for all the links and the pricing when you're watching this video, because I don't know how long this pricing is gonna last. So if you're thinking about doing it, what people are saying is it's just gonna get worse in 2026. So I'll let you know as early as possible that this is a good option. Now, this is very, very similar performance to the M4 Pro. Yes, the CPU performance, not right in there, but overall, we've got so much more upgrade path. So even when we're investing into it, It's very easy upgrade to upgrade later. We've got more RAM. This is 24 gigabytes. We've got 32 gigabytes plus 8 as the video memory, whereas this is just 24 in total. And we've got double the storage, whereas this one only has 512. So let's say you want to completely obliterate the Mac and you just want to get a lot more performance and not break the bank. Here's what I would do. For the motherboard, I'd leave it the same. I think upgrading that not necessarily give you any more performance, so I wouldn't upgrade that. For the CPU, I would upgrade that one to the Ryzen 9900X. This is a 12-core CPU, and you've literally just doubled your CPU cores, and performance has gone up quite a bit. So we're not just getting 2 cores like on the 9700X, but actually double. We're getting 12 cores, not 6 cores, as what we have already on the 9600X. This is extra $205, and it basically costs another one of these CPUs. Yeah, quite a bit more, but at the same time, it gives you huge performance boost. You've got 12 cores, 24 threads. That is a beast of a CPU, not to say the least. Basically, if you're doing anything as a creator in terms of video editing, 4K, 6K, it just chews through everything. It is a fantastic CPU, and I highly recommend this one. Now, if you are upgrading the CPU to the 9900X, you're gonna really have to upgrade the cooling as well, because things have gone a little bit higher, we're pulling more power and so on. So I found this Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 360mm AIO, and this has got the best performance in the world, if not the best AIO on the market. And to be that cheap is just crazy. This is a fantastic cooler, and I very much recommend this. So if you want to keep this cooler for the next decade, it's gonna be okay, because you've got so much performance in here, and if you upgrade your CPU later on, it's gonna be fine as well. And at that price point, you're really not gonna get anything better. The SSD and the RAM, I would not upgrade this at this point, and I would try to just, kind of work through, unless you really need extra storage, then try to find something out there, an NVMe. But I would try to keep that as much of what I just recommended as possible, just to keep the budget lower. Now, the thing that I would upgrade is the actual GPU. And interestingly, the jump that I would do is to 5070 right now. And previously, I haven't really recommended the 5070 and 5060 Ti and so on. It's just all a bit of a mess in the mid-range there in terms of finding the best bang for buck. And usually the 5070 Ti has been very good. But because of the availability of the 5070 Ti, I can't really find it anywhere. So what I recommend is the 5070. This is the cheapest 5070 I could find, and you get now extra boost of VRAM, so you have more flexibility in your timeline if you're working with more codecs and so on, and higher resolutions, having more stuff. That VRAM really comes useful to you. But at the same time, you might be saying, hey, this is literally more than double the price. Will I get double the performance? The answer is no. But that is the upgrade that I would do. The scaling from here to there is unfortunately not as linear as I would want. Upgrading the PSU now is one of the most important things that I would highly recommend you to do. This is 850 watts, so you're getting extra 200 watts of power. You get the PCIe 5.1 cable, or the 12-volt high power cable that we know of. So if you ever want to run a higher end 5080, for example, it's completely fine for you. It's modular, and it's not that much extra. It's only $18 extra, but we get much more power, more efficient, and it very much makes sense. And then in terms of the PC case upgrade, I would go with the NZXT H5 Flow 2024 case, which right now is on a crazy deal. The white version, the black version is still $95, but the white version is $69, which is very, very good price point. And this is a really nice looking case. Just look at it. The way it looks is absolutely amazing. You'll get better quality, your case looks nice, but now you do need a bit of extra fans, so I highly recommend picking up this Thermalright $16 3-pack for this case. It's got a little bit of a tasty RGB, which I'm really big fan of, and it's just very good, affordable fans that you can use and that will match the white aesthetics. If you don't like white, you can get the black ones as well and go with black versions. But all of the upgrades are extra $720. And that brings us roughly to around the $1,800 mark. But at that price point, regardless, you're getting an insane PC. You've got a 12-core CPU, you've got RTX 5070, which is just so much better than anything what Apple offers you. And you can upgrade your stuff later. You can upgrade the CPU, memory, storage, GPU, anything you'd want. It's got so much more flexibility, and arguably, this is a lot better bang for buck. So I'm looking at the benchmarks when I have tested the 9900X and RTX 5050, for example, or 5070. It is a lot better than the Mac Mini in here. The Mac Mini is impressive indeed, but at the same time, it's just so much better what you can get on the PC side, even though the RAM pricing is through the roof right now. So when you're looking at the GPU comparison, you're then thinking, which GPU should I get and should I actually build a PC this year? Then actually, if you're just thinking about building a new one or getting into the PC market, it's not the most ideal time, but it still makes much more sense than any of the alternatives, and that's why I would still do it. In fact, that inspired me to think, I'm gonna build myself a PC. I've been using these laptops and trying to use the Mac for quite a long time, but then at the same time, I'm a PC guy. I think I'm gonna go back to the roots and actually enjoy some raw power and no performance loss. What do you think? Should we do it? I'd love to know from you in the comment section below. And if you are looking for a little bit of a higher end budget, maybe we can make another video recommending maybe $2,000 to $3,000 type of PC. What will we get around there? I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.